Well, this morning we asked you to send in your questions because we know everybody wants to know what is going to happen with this hurricane and how are we going to feel the impacts here. So let's get to some viewer questions. First up, we have Fran who says, I live in Gaston. When will we see the effect of this hurricane? I work tomorrow morning and I leave around 4:45 in the morning. Will I be okay?
Yeah, you'll be fine. It looks like tomorrow morning. I think there may be a little bit of light rain across the area tomorrow morning. By the time you get to wake up about 4:45, that rain's out of here. You'll start to see the effects. It looks like the main effects probably mid-afternoon by 3 o'clock. That's when we're expecting the heaviest rain to start to move into parts of the Midlands. But as we've been talking about, I think tomorrow morning our weather will improve pretty quickly.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this next one. This is from Desmond and Santee saying, good morning, Daniel. I've used you for my excuse today for work. Nevertheless, will this rain come with high winds for shelter? A lot of pressure there.
You always can use me as an excuse. But, there is that opportunity for some tropical storm force winds. You're in Santee. That's an area that is under the tropical storm warning. So you're talking about winds anywhere from 39, maybe up to 57 miles per hour with some stronger gusts in that tropical storm warning area. And we also have that tropical storm watch for parts of Lexington, Richland, and Kershaw counties. Those areas could have some strong winds as well. The main threat I do want to emphasize is the potential for flooding. That is really going to be the biggest threat and the widest threat at this point.
All right, and we have another viewer here on the same topic. Want to know about how strong this wind is going to be.
So in the areas that we're watching for the tropical storm watch, tropical storm warning, up to 57 miles per hour, maybe some gusts a little bit stronger. You can't rule out some stronger gusts, but again, let me emphasize the rain, the flooding potential is still the greatest threat at this point. So the winds, a threat, the greatest threat, flooding.
Well, this is a really good question too. Linford Casey says, what is the difference between a warning and a watch?
So a watch means kind of get prepared, especially when you're talking about tropical activity, typically issued about 48 hours before impact. A warning is issued typically about 36 hours before impact. Now that's for tropical systems. For, say, tornado warnings and tornado watches, the time frame's a little bit shorter. If you have a tornado for your warning, a tornado warning for your area, let me slow down a touch. You do want to take shelter. That means it's happening right now. You want to get into a safer place at that point. Watch means the ingredients are available for tornadoes to happen.
Very good information there. We always get that question, watch versus warning. And last one this morning that we have time for, how do they come up with the names of the hurricanes?
So we talked about that, I believe, the other day. The World Meteorological Organization comes up with these names, and again, they sometimes get retired, so they have to find these new names. Y'all remember Isaias, you remember Hurricane Ian, and now we have Idalia. So they come up with these names. They have a list that switches male, female, and it keeps going every 7 years and rotates.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Daniel, for all of that information. And again, my friends, make sure you follow our weather team because they're going to have everything that you need to know as we prepare for this storm.